Hey everybody, welcome back to BigRedEDC. Well, we've got another Amazon find here for us. This is the Trock knife Sheepsfoot. Now, that's pretty much the only name for it. It doesn't have a special name. Just the Trock knives Sheepsfoot. There you go, Trock knives. Thank you very much to Trock Knife for sending this one out. But as you can see, we've got a pretty standard knife in front of us. We're looking at a G10 D2 knife, button lock, as you can see there. Now, the texture on that G10 is really nice. It's got great texture, gives for a great grip. I mean, I don't know if you can see there, we finally got it to slip. It has really, really good grip on it. Lanyard hole, open construction. You got a couple of standoffs there. Now it is a right hand tip up carry only, not deep carry. As you can see there, you will have a bit sticking out of your pocket. We will check that out later. Now the overall fit and finish feels pretty darn good. Blade to handle, it comes out there. The blade's nice and tucked in. Centering on point for sure. Now you've got, like I said, you've got the button lock, but you do have dual thumb studs for deployment on this one. Now, as always, clips like this, it gives me pause. We've got a couple of high points there, but we'll see how that turns out. But yeah, overall fit and finish seems pretty good. Nothing stands out as uncomfortable or sharp or anything like that where it shouldn't be. Even the thumb studs have been turned pretty well, so they're not sharp or anything like that. So now this is the first thing I've ever seen from Trock. So, first impressions, introduction to it, not bad. Not too bad at all. Now, like I said, dual thumb studs. I can flip it out. I cannot quite do it's close. Oh my goodness. Dude, I love it when I do it for the first time on camera. I have not been able to reverse flick that. I guess I caught it just enough with my nail and it worked. It's the only time I'm doing that. I promise. Now on the close, I mean, it's pretty solid. Got maybe a little bit of shake shut. Button, as far as a button goes, I don't think that's stick. I think that's pretty much, yeah, that seems to be all spring tension. Really no stick to it. If there is, it is very light, and it's really being masked by this spring tension. But overall, action, not bad. Not bad at all. Now, companies like this, they're getting into that, it's deep water. It's absolutely deep water when you're talking the price range. This one's just under $40. On Amazon, I think it's listed at like $37, almost $38, 37 and change. But there is a 25% coupon as well, so it brings it down to just under $29. So, get this knife for $29. That's not bad at all. Now, at work, this D2 blade, there you go. They're calling it a sheep's-foot. Okay. Call it what you will. It's your knife. We make up names for blades all the time. No, I'm kidding. It looks more like, that modified Warncliffe, but whatever. They're calling it a sheep's-foot. It's a sheep's-foot. 6 9-thread, no issues whatsoever. The 21 thread, the half-inch rope, it did okay. I mean, you're looking at just over that 3-inch cutting edge, almost 3 1/4. It was about 80%. About 80%. I mean, it's flat ground. You've got a bit of a stone wash going on there. So it was close, but it's about 80% on the 21 thread. Now, I did do a few, I mean, it's sharp. Well, yeah, of course it's sharp if I show it to you on camera. I mean, it came, and that's after cutting some, it came sharp, very sharp. So, shout out to Trock for that, putting out a sharp a very sharp knife. But yeah, that half inch, it was so close. It was 80-85%. So, that extra, I bet if I would have had, if this would have been closer to a 3.5-inch blade, it probably would have went through all the way. Just with how sharp it was and everything. It was very good. Very good. But overall, build quality, sharpness, yeah, I'm into it. They did well. So, you're looking at just shy of an 8-inch knife. It's about 7 5/8. Looking at right about a 4.5-inch handle, which should give us about a 3 and almost a half. There's where that other 1/8 comes in on the blade. Like I said, it already has just shy of a 3 1/4-inch blade. And then your grip length, you're coming in. Oh, look at that. Imagine that. I mean, that could definitely be one of the reasons why I like it quite a bit. Now, it does have the automatic finger grooves. The cradle is great. The finger grooves are kind of hitting me. As you can see with my hand size, the finger grooves are kind of hitting me definitely pretty much right in the center of this finger. And it's just off to that one. So I can definitely feel that one there. Kind of a little bit of an awkward feeling. My big concern was kind of the pocket clip. I know it's pretty low profile, but those different clips, it always kind of gives me pause. That's not an issue at all. It's tucked down. It doesn't poke up. Now, I do feel this up here. As you can see, it's just past that kind of crease in my hand. So I do feel it a little bit. Nothing major. Ooh, nothing major at all. It's there. I know it's there. It's not a hot spot for me anyway. But the 3.5-inch cradle is very, very nice. So throw out a couple of our size comparisons there. There you go. There it is up against the bug out. Definitely larger than the bug out. And PM2, pretty close, but PM2's got it by, about a good 1/4 inch on the blade. And, just a hair, maybe an 1/8 or so on the handle. Now we'll get, there you go, 4.1, not bad, a little weight to it, nothing major. Now this is where I was saying, definitely gonna have, now there's the other part with that ramp, where the other one, it could come in, the clip is tight, the clip is very tight. It's not going anywhere once you get it in the pocket. You do have quite a bit sticking out of your pocket. So for some, that could be a detractor. Now, of course, like I always say, when you're on top of it, putting it into your pocket as you're wearing the pants does go in a little bit easier. But as you can see, that is not going anywhere. Now, this ramp, it's a little shallow. That's a good word for it. The ramp is a little shallow. It does, and it's tight. It is a, ow, yeah, it's a tight clip. So once it's in the pocket, it's not going anywhere. You might fight with it a little bit going into the pocket, and it may a little bit coming out, because it's definitely secure. So overall, what do I think of the Trock? It's not bad. It's built well. The action is pretty good. Like I said too, they're coming into their deep waters. That 30 to 50 range is pretty tight right now. It really is. And you got to come with everything. Is it going to be at the top of the list? Probably not. But with that coupon code, it does knock the price down a little bit and make it a little bit more appealing, for some. It's not a bad knife overall. I got to give them credit for that edge. The edge was fantastic. Super sharp. Like I said, there's a bit of rope cutting already into it, and you saw what it was doing to paper. It lasering through. So, edge, great work. Now, I'd probably put it, if I had to give it a number rating, I'd give it a solid in that 30 to 50 range. I'd give it a solid 7. I do have a little bit with the comfort, 6.5 to 7. Decent knife overall. I liked it. Not the worst thing on the market. Definitely not the best thing either in the price range. But a solid knife overall, for sure. So, really have to thank Trock for sending it out. And I got to thank you guys for swinging by and checking it out with me. There'll be links down below if you want to look into it further. As always, have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day. Like, subscribe, leave me that comment. I love talking to you. Till next time, guys. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.